track and field team, Jolita Henderson. One final cross-country event up this weekend for UT Martin with the NCAA South Regional Championship on deck this Friday. Coach, going to compete against some of the best teams in the country. What's the mentality going into this weekend?
Mentality is let's do better than we did for OVC. It's a 10K. Technically for us, this is a brand new team doing it. Only 2 people out of the people that are going have ever been to regionals. So it'll be nice. Should be good weather. Be a good day to run fast.
And what's the type of transition you have to make from that 8K to a 10K now?
Well, it's being a little bit more patient to start off the race, but still being engaged the whole entire time. So, they've been training. They're training for further than this, so that's not even an issue.
And so cross country, again, going to wrap up their season this weekend. But track and field season fast approaching,
yes.
coming up in December. What's the transition like first for, I know a lot of your cross country athletes do track and field as well. Mm-hmm. So what's the transition like for them?
So they actually take a break, and they won't compete until January. So they won't go to the December meet. Let's give them some time off, get their legs back underneath them, and then because, track's a lot faster than cross. So, yeah, they'll take a good break, and then they'll be back.
But, my question for you is, are there personality differences between track and cross?
Yes. There's a different level of confidence.
Yeah. Oh, explain it.
You could just tell, like cross country, you have the course, but if you don't know exactly where you're at on the course, it can kind of mess with your head. You really don't know. But then you have track where it's, I know what lap I'm on. I know where I'm at. I know, I can see you the whole entire time, whereas cross is a little bit more spread out. So it's a different mentality.
Can you be really good at both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We have guys that are really good at both.
And how do you, I guess, I know we talked about the watch on the podcast before about not being distracted and music and everything. What's your message, I guess, to your athletes when it's how to not get distracted with what lap you're on and just keep your pace, keep your momentum, and not get distracted with the other things going on around you, like, oh, I'm only on lap 4 right now, or something like that?
Yeah, so that's why we have coaches or athletes at different corners. We have somebody at every 200. So then, when you're coming around, it's like, all right, keep going. Okay, eyes up, stay focused, stay engaged, you got this. And then you have somebody 200 meters after that. So you have somebody with you kind of the whole entire time. So you're not just running by yourself.
That's kind of like a third base coach or
yes.
first base coach
yes.
in baseball and softball.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. You have to. Because if you don't, they tend to, be like, oh, my goodness. 25 laps around the track is a 10K for us. So, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
It's a long race.
And how have preparations been going for this upcoming season?
It's been really good. Kids are starting to be able to sleep in a little bit longer because, time change and stuff like that. So we don't go out at 6 a.m. anymore. They can go a little bit later since it's,
I'd
good.
appreciate that, too.
Yeah.
I really would. I guess Sam would have to get his pickle pops in the morning.
Yeah,
my goodness.
So hold on. So
one
of the things I admire about you is your transparency,
yes.
and honesty,
yes.
your inability to sugarcoat anything. What about pickle pops?
What did you think when you heard? Did you know about it before that?
Schumann likes them. Mm-hmm. He takes them. There's also this other thing. It's like pickle juice and electrolytes and something else mixed together. I don't know how they chug it. Mm-hmm. It sounds very disgusting.
Have you had it?
No, I'm not taking that. Okay. I'm not doing that.
You haven't had a pickle pop?
I'm not taking a pickle pop.
What would it take for you to take a pickle pop? Would Sam have to win OVC?
If Sam wins in the steeple, outdoor, he wins, I will take a pickle pop.
Okay, we got that on film.
It's on film.
It's on film.
Yes.
It's recorded, so that'll be his motivation. And for you personally, you compete in track and field as a student athlete. What was your favorite event?
Hurdles.
Hurdles?
Yeah.
Why?
I just like to go fast. Having a barrier there, my life's been full of obstacles. Can you just go over them each time?
That's awesome. How many hurdles are there?
Indoors 5, outdoors 10.
That seems to me, when I watch that, timing is so important.
Yes, very
obviously.
much. Yes, you have to have good rhythm.
Yeah. So how do you just practice?
Yes. The 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 go, and then 1 2 3 go 1 2 3 go 1 2 3.
And if you just get a millisecond off,
yes,
you have to recalculate or recalibrate.
Ish, kinda. Fun fact is, majority of the people in the world take 8 steps to the first hurdle. I took 7.
Wow, that means you have longer strides or a longer jump, or both, probably.
Both, yeah. Which is different. It's only a very few amount of people can do it successfully.
Really?
I did in my indoor season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you still do it?
Yeah, I did compete in a meet last year, and I won. Yeah.
All right.
That's
I competed
That's
unattached.
amazing.
One
At
of-
SEMO.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of my questions one week was going to be, could you still?
Oh, I
like,
still got
compete
it.
with-
Oh,
you
I
still do.
Oh, most definitely.
So no one on the team could compete.
I ain't gonna
with
say
you
no
girls.
one.
Okay,
No, I'm
okay.
coaching
Who
them.
would-
They
who-
better be able to beat
Who
me.
who would be the number one competition for you?
My number one competition right now in hurdles would be Addison Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah. Sweet feet. That's what we call her.
We might need
Sweet.
to get that
Oh,
on
yeah.
video.
Yeah. No, that makes
of
you
a
a completely
competition
different
head-to-head.
coach because now they've got to really respect what you're saying.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
most definitely do.
Yeah.
Because if I go, all right, let's line up, and they're like, no, we're good. I'm like, oh, no, you want to talk stuff? Let's line up. Come on.
Oh goodness. Well, coach, again,
I trust you.
I trust you. Listen, we'll do it. We'll do whatever it is. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. Cross country. It's been fun. Track and field coming up
Yes.
next. So good luck to you all in this upcoming
Thank
season.
you so much.
If I quit this season, I still be the latest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
On beach volleyball, we've got Olivia O'Keefe, Lucy Kaufman joining us now, and they competed this past weekend in the Collegiate Beach Championships, fall edition of that. And normally beach is a spring sport. So what was that like, girls?
I would have to say doing preseason for fall for beach is a lot better because there's refs, but there's not. So it's not as competitive as like it would be your hardcore in the spring. But in the fall, we do more, everyone plays, you play it out. You don't call as much, but that way you play different teams and you can just learn more.
It's more of a learning experience versus like a competitive, like there to win. It's more of a what's team camaraderie type.
Kind of like a tune-up,
thing. Yeah.
tune-up type of
There
thing.
you go.
Okay, gotcha. So qualified for that with your performances with Sydney and Reagan as well. So how did that go with you all? And was the competition level, I guess, the same, or was it just still that learning experience? And it was like, oh, okay, good, we get to continue to the next round, or was it just, I guess, the same thing as y'all were describing, more of a learning experience?
The first weekend definitely was more our speed, if that makes sense. So it's like all the teams that want bids that wanted to play in the previous tournament. So it's more like EKU, it's Central Arkansas, it's
Right.
UNA, it's teams that make more sense for like a beach volleyball team in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But that was more definitely our pace, and we did really well there, especially the second day. We did really well. And then this past weekend was more like USC, Cal Poly, LSU, all like the top teams. So that's where you get more of the competition too.
And USC, one of the best programs as well. You all went up against them. What are some of the and I think in 2021 too, in the NCAA tournament, what are some of the challenges, the things that you see from one of those top teams in the country?
Well, obviously being a beach volleyball team in Tennessee, we're a little more undersized. You know, we're
Yeah.
going against these
And they
girls
get Venice
who-
Beach and everything
yeah,
like
who
that.
are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", and we're coming in at 5'9", like, ready to go. Like these are our big players, but I think the bigger girls. We've got speed on them, and we're closer to the ground. We can get more.
I was like, we
so-
definitely came out the gate with USC on Saturday, or Friday, but that was no issue.
Yeah,
We
I
tried
think
to
held our
block.
own.
Yeah.
Held our own the best we could.
I was like, I know one of the scores was close, 21-15 or something. I mean,
Wow.
that's better than getting single digits.
Yeah, that is true.
I was
You
like-
get some points up on the board.
You have both said beach volleyball in Tennessee and then smiled, and you do have to smile because there aren't traditional beaches in Tennessee. But what is the reaction you get when you tell people you play beach volleyball or you compete in beach volleyball at a Division I level in Tennessee?
Well, even the beach girls, I will say, like, we went out to eat after yesterday, our games, and a girl from Long Beach was like, where is Martin? And I was like, it's about 2 hours away from Nashville, if that can give you anything. But no, it's okay. I think we put our name on the map, especially being in the NCAA twice. People started to get more familiar with where we are.
Yeah.
I mean, the closest body of water we got is Pacer Pond next to the
Well,
rec center.
yeah.
That's really
And
about
our
it.
beach courts aren't even that close to it, honestly.
Yeah, so I mean, technically, it is a beach. So
Right.
we'll just go ahead and get it.
In your sport, though, the thing that amazes me the most is when it's clicking. It's the chemistry. But and what is that like when it's really done well?
You flow.
Yeah.
You just know where your partner is. If Lucy passes it to me and we have that connection, I know to set her behind, and she's going to score the point right away. I just know, like, where we're flowing on defense, everything like that.
Yeah, you just learn how like each other moves, like how her mind's working, how my mind's working, and we just balance each other out the best we can.
This is a loaded question, but is chemistry almost? Well, I know the answer, and the answer is it's the same. But is chemistry more important in beach than it is in volleyball when you have more players on the floor?
100%.
Well, okay, that's why I thought. Explain it. And
100%.
why can I justify that in my brain without criticizing the others?
Indoor is 6 players on the court. The ball's coming at you faster, but you have all different positions. Everyone's going to play differently. Beach, it's you and your partner. If I'm messing up, you know I'm messing up. Like, it's my fault. I'm the one messing up. It's Lucy's going to try to get me out of that, and vice versa. But with the connection, it's like you have to push through because it's only you two on the court.
Yeah, there's no subs. You can't. If someone's having a bad game in indoor, you can sub them out. Pretty simple.
The only
On
time the
beach,
coach
it's
can
just
talk
us.
to you is during the timeout.
I was just about to
Yeah.
say that. I think Coach Wilson had mentioned, like, well, I can only talk to him after a certain match or whatever, or
Yeah.
certain sets. So how, I guess whenever you're having a bad match and you come over and you're sitting down and you're like, all right, I know exactly what she's going to say. Do you all process that? Maybe the opposing team's like 1 point away, 2 points away, and you're like, all right, I know exactly what she's going to say. I'm just going to sit there and be like, okay, I got it. Is that what goes through your mind
Yes,
sometimes?
I was like, Lucy definitely can contest. I'm more of like the quiet player.
Uh-huh.
I everything Jacqueline says, I'm like just nodding my head, clap my hands, and go right back in and
Yep.
try to get the point.
Just have to accept it. All right, I know what you're going to say. Just say it, and then let me get back out there and I'll
So
go
yeah,
and
half
correct
the
it.
time we go in the timeout and we just look at each other and go, like, I'll do this. Like, already know what I have to
Yep.
do.
Right.
Well, you answered my question. Basically, chemistry is important in every team sport, but in beach, it's magnified.
Yes,
I mean, just really
100%.
magnified.
Like if I'm not doing well in the serving, like or serve receiving, and I can't get that first pass, everybody knows. Everybody
Right.
knows I can't get that.
And even
first
if you're playing
pass.
doubles tennis or some other sport, like it doesn't alternate like it does in beach. Like you both have to be equally online.
And the game can change like that too. We had a couple games where it was 17-19, we were down, and then we win 21-19. And just a few points can make a huge difference, especially in beach.
Yeah.
That's what I love about volleyball. It's the moment. It's like basketball. You
Yeah.
can go on a run and have stuff going like that. But back to, you still have indoor season going on. Lucy, you are a graduate assistant, correct?
Yep.
So coaching on the sidelines, but then you go to playing with beach as well. So I guess for both of you, Lucy, you can take it first. Is it weird getting ready for beach at this point in the year, or have you all already been preparing for the upcoming season? Because I know Coach Wilson has kind of talked about it a little bit. I'm very interested to now know this answer after you all are chuckling.
Yeah, I mean, I've been used to, having beach and indoor season
Right.
all clumped throughout the year, just through juniors and everything. Would play junior indoor and junior beach. So for me, it's not that different having both mindsets at the same time. But going from a staff position on indoor to, okay, now I'm like on the court playing
Right.
beach, it is a little difficult not to take that staff mindset into it. But I just have to remember, me and her are equals. We're on the court playing together, and we just have to focus on that.
Are there bad habits you could pick up in one that would carry over into the other and be worse?
1,000%. I was on the indoor team last year, and I was on it at the beginning of this year, and I decided to just go beach only. And there are so many habits that you're just trying to break. It's like fastball, but no, you have to slow it down. There's different types of balls for beach and indoor, all that.
I was just about to say that because that got me to the next one. The difference between beach and indoor. Coach Wilson, I've talked to her before about building up sand legs and stuff like that and the terminology. What are some of the challenges, though, that come with playing beach that indoor also prepares you for?
I think just the aggressive mindset with indoor. Indoor's more aggressive, more fast-paced. So having that aggressive mindset going into beach, I think that especially we struggle with. We're more of a shots team, place the ball, versus this weekend we saw a lot of teams that came out with a lot of power, so we had to try to answer that with power. And so our indoor mindset kind of helped us with that there.
Right. I feel like endurance, it's going to be different, but if you have good endurance and you can hold rallies in indoor, you'll be able to hold them predominantly well in beach. And then we work out in the sand as the indoor team too. Chris, our strength coach, has us working out in the sand, so we're sprinting in that sand. I was like, it's terrible, but it's worth it.
Well, also in beach, you're facing weather conditions. Mother Nature's in a
You talk about Martin being a beach town or whatever.
It's
what was
the
it?
wind. That's
Last
the
year.
worst. It's the wind.
Yeah.
The
And it makes
rain,
a
the
difference
wind.
if it's cross or
Yep.
headwind or tailwind.
And when we go up for the coin toss, like if you win the coin toss, you can pick which side you want. It doesn't matter. You can pick either side, and you literally have to lift up the sand, throw it, and see which direction it goes. And yes,
That way.
yes, we'll be like, we want that side.
That side is ours right now. So Chris kind of alluded to it earlier about the chemistry that comes in beach volleyball. What makes a good beach volleyball duo?
I think
I was like, I can contest it. My season last year with Cambry Lucas, she transferred, but we were best friends off the court and we were best friends on the court. And I'm not saying that always helps, but we just understood each other on a different level
Right.
that just made us so successful. Like we were there for each other off the court, and if something was or someone was going through it on the court, we could get each other out of it like so easily.
Absolutely.
You know, I got the one-word answer to that. It's trust.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the trust
for sure.
factor. It's the X factor. Is the trust factor.
Yeah.
Put that on a T-shirt. Right? Put that on a T-shirt. So, back-to-back OVC tournament champions. How do you all look to defend that title upcoming here in this season?
I
Because
think-
you have the target on your back.
Yeah, no, we definitely do, and a lot of the teams at OVC that are building their programs, they're going to come out strong. As you said, we do have a target on our back, being that two-time OVC championship.
They hate us.
Yeah,
But they do?
No.
Is that
They do
confirmed?
not like
I was
us.
like, I get along with the girls, but I was like, secretly, I think they hate us.
Yeah, they're like, dadgummit, they just keep winning.
No, literally though.
I think going into this season, us experienced players that are coming back just need to remember that our whole preseason, it might be tough in the cold out there and freezing temperatures, but it all prepares us for that season, and it's all in the process. So trust the process, and we can get there.
How good do you think Chris and I would be as a duo for beach volleyball?
I can.
Do you guys trust each other?
Oh, yeah. Oh, why did you hesitate? You hesitated. Well, I guess we would be there.
I've never seen him serve. I mean,
It's
I-
all
Oh,
different.
I mean, you
Yeah.
come on now. I got a nasty spin serve.
I trust you.
Hey.
Spin
I
serve,
trust you.
that tells me all I need to
See,
know.
there you go. I got that terminology.
Pickleball. Come
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
Jason McLean from the UT Martin radio team joins us now. Thanks so much for coming on with us.
Happy to be here.
So Grayson actually leads the UT Martin football team out of the tunnel in the new tradition with one of the horses from the rodeo team. So how much fun has that been?
Oh, it is absolutely an ecstatic moment. My horse and I, we were both super excited to be there and have the football team coming behind us.
Do you ever get, as you're like moving up, I know they have the photographers there as
Oh,
the
yeah.
team's about to come out. Are you ever just like at a split moment, like maybe I can just cut a little closer,
Yes.
just give them a little bit of a scare
Oh,
and then
yeah.
turn away at the last second?
My horse is like sometimes like the color in the field. He's like, oh, there's like a different like height level. I'm like, oh no, you're fine.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
we've cut it pretty close to some of these photographers. It's been a little nerve wracking sometimes.
But you had to practice quite a bit to get that down pat, right?
Oh yeah, we practice with the band like at least 2-3 times a week, as much as we can.
Yeah.
Hey,
And,
practice
and
makes
what's your
perfect.
horse's name?
His name's PJ.
And PJ's used to it now, I guess.
Oh yeah, he's a pro. He thinks it's all for him.
Oh, and it is though. It is. It's all for PJ. Not for the
Whatever.
football
You know
team,
what?
not
It's
for-
working is the key.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're winning. It looks good. It's
Ex-
fun. You know,
Hey,
you're good at
continue-
it.
Hey, if we keep winning, let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can do it for basketball. That'd probably tear the floor up, but let's
Oh,
just
yeah.
do that for basketball. Why not? Why not? If it brings wins, it brings wins. And so let's get into, I guess, for you as a rodeo athlete, how do you prepare for a rodeo event, and what are some of the events that you compete in specifically?
So I compete in team roping, breakaway, and barrel racing.
Okay.
With team roping, I have a partner in it, so me and her kind of prepare together. We do hype songs and drink Red Bulls and stuff just to get everything going. And for myself, I try to imagine 10 perfect runs in my head, and if I mess up in one of them that I make in my head, I have to restart all over. And so then once I have it, it gives me that confidence to enter to the arena.
Well, so there's this historical study that I always hear about where they had a person shoot 100 free throws, another person imagine making 100 free throws, and then they brought them together, and the one who visualized it and did it 100 times perfectly in their head usually increased their free throw percentage. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes, sir. That's basically it. In rodeo, when we have our meetings, we do a lot of mindset talking because it's all about having a good mindset and being able to perform on that.
Because in your sport, unlike other sports, you just have this few seconds where you're actually competing to prove yourself to perform.
Oh, yeah. We have, for it to be such a big thing, you have 3 seconds tops to perform at your topmost, as opposed to a basketball game. You got all game. I mean, if you were bad in the first half, you got the second half. But in rodeo, in barrel racing, you got 14 seconds. In ropings, you have 3 to 4.
And what's the pressure like? I mean, you've prepared all week for this. And sometimes, I mean, for the UT Martin Rodeo, you've prepared all year to be in front of the home crowd. But that pressure boils down and all that practice to just 3 or 4 seconds. How do you handle that?
That's why we focus so much on mindset, because it's such it's nerve-wracking. For those 3 seconds, it goes in slow motion,
Absolutely.
I'm going to be honest. And having to prepare for it is just trying to keep a really good mindset overall, because if you fall under pressure, that's 3 seconds and that's it. Because there's been times when I first started out, I would choke. I would be on my horse, be there, and it's like everything would just be a blur, and I couldn't remember what even happened.
What are the mindset strategies?
So I do the perfect runs. I remember that no matter what happens, as long as I'm performing at my best and my horse is performing at our best, it doesn't matter if we're still at the bottom. As long as I had a 1% increase today, that's all that matters. And then always having my teammates in the stands too. We were really big about being super supportive of each other, so we'll all be screaming and hollering no matter what's going on. Yeah. Even if it's at 2 a.m, we're running slack.
Apparently that's happened before.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand slack, but we don't have time. I kind of understand it, but no, it can happen at 2 a.m.
Oh, goodness. So, for you, senior on the rodeo team this year, when did it all start? When did you start competing in rodeo?
I started competing in rodeo when I was 5 years old. It was my first time ever. I've been on a horse since I could sit up. My mom was like, "Yep, I have one girl. That's what she's going to do." And so my first rodeo, I was 5 years old, and I placed. I think placed third. It was these little small ones where they do for kids. I want a cup. I still have a cup. Okay. And since then, it's just kind of grown, and I want to try to ever expand my rodeo.
How are horses different from all rodeos?
They are, so a horse is super, to me they're more understandable than the other animals. So they have 3 times the nerves we have. They can feel a fly on them. Imagine how we feel. And they can actually feel your heartbeat up to a certain amount of distance away. So when you're excited, they're excited.
Really?
That's why when you're around horses, as long as you stay calm, they're chill.
That is so awesome. So people joke about animals sensing fear. Horses
really
can actually sense fear.
Yeah.
Well, I have some horses behind my house, and I feed them carrots. And you should come over sometime. You really almost have to trust because you know your fingers. But horses are so smart.
They're very
never bite you.
And the most sensitive part of a horse is actually their nose, so they feel 10 times more. That's why if they eat something, they can pick out the good parts of grass.
This is incredible. We learned, Coach Leiter came on was talking about the ice boots that horses have, and I was learning horses can sense fear, smell fear. This is incredible stuff. I want to go back to you though, Grayson, when you transferred here from Northwest Mississippi Community College. What made you want to come back to your home state? Because you're from Tennessee.
So, when I started at Northwest, it was a great school. I had a great system. I had a great support system, but it was just really far from home. And then I actually met Nelson, who is the athletic trainer and everything. I had a broken foot. He pointed me out and he was like, "Where's your cowboy boot?" And I was like, "I have a broken foot." So it ended up taking me up and putting me in a cowboy.
This is when you were competing there?
And we were competing in Palmerville, Mississippi that weekend actually. And so I had a broken foot, and it's fine if you don't wear the correct footing. So he'd take me up, put me in a cowboy boot, and then I ended up talking to Coach Luke that day, back when he was here, and he talked to me and I talked about transfer.
Oh, okay. What town are you from?
I'm from Pinson, Tennessee, and it's right outside of Jackson.
We're at Pinson Mountains.
So you talked about the events that you compete, a little bit about your mindset that you go into, and the music that you and your partner listen to. What is the choice right before you go out and compete?
Right before we go in, it's all 80s rock. I'm going to be honest.
I love it.
All 80s rock.
Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses, stuff like that. Oh yeah, it's all 80s rock.
That's great. That is fantastic. Final question for you. Best memory so far in your time with UT Martin?
My best memory. Honestly, it would have to be, I think it was last year, and we had our home rodeo, and it's I don't know, it's just being there at the rodeo with the crowd and everything going on, and it was doing I guess it was last year or the year before. Coach Lucas sent off. It was the year before, yeah. It would have to be Coach Lucas sent off because it was all of us lined up, all of us telling that wish love and everything. It was great.
Look, if you say you didn't tear up during that, we don't ever talk to That was amazing.
It was a great time, great time. Well, Grayson, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way for UT Martin Rodeo. We'll see you at the UTM Rodeo.
If I quit this season, Used to be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
Now joining the program at UT Morgan offensive lineman Lamar Morgan, our second offensive lineman to join the program that can't say, Chris, that we don't love the boys in the trenches.
That's right.
I mean, come on, we love the Boss Hawks. Lamar, thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate it.
So we were just talking to Grayson about the horse leading the team out onto the field.
Look at shaking his head.
You don't like horses, so do you stand as far back in the tunnel as possible before coming out?
To the side, but I seen somebody get kicked by a horse. I can't.
No.
To the side.
Like a long time ago when you were young?
Yeah, I was like 12. She got kicked through the fence. I can't. I stay away from it.
So you stay as far back as possible when she goes running back. Okay.
It's just respect. I'm sure the horse respects him. You respect the horse.
Yeah. Hey, again, they can sense fear. We just realized this.
It says mine. I'm scared of it.
Oh goodness! Well, hey, let's get to this game this weekend. This past weekend, Tennessee Tech overtime win, second one of the year. What a moment at the end of the game that you all found yourself down 14 in the fourth quarter. I mean, just your overall thoughts there on that game, the comeback in general. I mean, incredible football.
Yeah, I really think it's we all got to believe in each other. That faith that we got in our team, that camaraderie with our team is really good. Coach Sim talking about it all the time, but we really never felt like we was going to lose that game. We know what we got to do. We got to come out and play. And that's what we did. Zoe had a crazy game, but I've been here since 2021, and I remember Zoe when he was the young guy, when Kobe got Donnell Williams, Rodney Williams, in the game he had at Jacksonville State. So I remember all of that. I knew Zoe was capable of all of it. So shout out to Zoe.
So just had to recreate the Jacksonville State game.
Yeah.
So the last play, the number one play on Sports Center. Take a step. Whole play to you guys.
See, so I was focused on me, because I didn't have a very good pass protection, so I knew I had to lock in right here and get it. And then it's gone, and I looked, and it got tipped. And then he reached his hand out, and he caught it. Oh my God, so I just ran down the field, my hands up, and I see Gavin over there like this, running down the field like this. It was crazy. We actually tried to pick Zoe up, but Vance slipped. So we ain't want to hurt him. We tried to pick him up and carry him.
Did that get?
We've got to find it.
I don't know if it got on film, but you see him, his legs look bubbling.
So you saw the catch?
I did. I seen the catch because like it's a clock in your head about how long you should have to block somebody. And so my eyes snapped to the end zone, but I seen it get tipped first. So I'm like, I have to play. And I seen his. I knew it was a catch the whole time because I seen his hand under the ball. I seen it.
Listen, from the booth, I thought he dropped it. I thought it was completely incomplete. And then looking back down the field, I just see all of you all run out on the field. Like, oh my gosh, he got it.
When you watch the video though, you gotta watch Coach Petrino. You gotta watch Coach Petrino from the sideline.
What's he do?
Oh my, it's just excitement. Like he the first one on the field. I think he probably was on the field before like they called a touchdown or anything. He was running full speed on the field, hands in the air, headset in the air. It was hilarious.
What were the 30 minutes from the catch until 30 minutes later? What was that like?
It was crazy because we knew we had to go get the win. We know we had to go get the win to just we defined our own face, and we know we had to go get the win. But after the catch, it's literally just Zoe Roberts. Like, there you go, Zoe.
And so, I mean, this game, it wasn't just for the Sergeant Board Trophy. It wasn't just for a chance to play this weekend against SEMO with the conference championship on the line, at least to share it. But it was also to keep you all's postseason playoff hopes alive. And you just talk about how poised were y'all down the stretch of that game, down 14 in the fourth quarter. You go down, you score a touchdown, make it a one-possession game, and then turnover on downs on, I think, the second to last drive that you all had in the fourth quarter. Get the ball back, defense makes the stop. What's going through y'all's mind to just stay calm, cool, and collected, take it one play at a time, and trust each other on each side of the ball?
I really just think it's the belief that we have in each other, like, the whole time. If you watch the film, you see Chris on the sideline. Chris Hunter, you see him on the sideline, let's go, we got this. It's like that ultimate faith, the ultimate belief in each other. Like, that person, whatever the ball go to, they're gonna make a play. O-line gonna do their job, quarterback gonna do their job. It never wavers. No matter if we lose, win, the faith never wavers until the clock is zero. So I never got my team.
A game like that too, conditioning becomes is a factor because you're playing longer than you normal. So if you're in better shape than the other team, you have a slight advantage. So all that hard work you did months ago paid off for that game.
Dash, summer dash. That's Coach Simple about it. Summer dash. That's where our grind, our grit come out. That's when we build our team up. So that little period of the summer where we all looked at grinding, it came out there.
I want to talk about that now. Everything that y'all worked through in the summer. I remember back in my time at high school football, seeing the guys, how much work they put in, and being able to watch y'all in the summers and how much work you put in, and then in fall camp. And it's all led really to this Saturday. Chance to win a conference championship, and you're playing a team last year, coin flip against you, and that was the game. And they got to go to the playoff, and you all season ended right there at Hardy Grant Stadium after a win. And as you're all raising up the trophy, again, you have that bad taste still left in your mouth. But this Saturday, you finally get to go head-to-head with them. And I'm glad that we get any football player. I'm glad that we got you on because, again, you started on last year's team, experienced that mountaintop moment, and then back down to the valley whenever you found out that it didn't go our way in the coin flip. Just your thoughts here on this weekend, what it means to you and the team to be able to have a shot at redemption.
I mean, so I really don't like Seymour. To be honest, like I never got to play Seymour. Like I've been here for so long, but I've never got to play Seymour. 2021 we played twice. I was hurt both times. Last year, just it didn't work out. We couldn't play it, but it's no coin flip this year. We got a couple of
exactly. No coin flip. There's no heads or tails. The teams have got to step between the lines and face each other this weekend. And they're still a good football team. I mean, they still have a ton of talent. A lot of credit to them.
You can respect them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I respect them. I respect them tremendously. Like, they're a good football team. Since I've been here, they've always been a good football team. That's the way it shake out. We look at ourselves as the best two teams in our conference, and we got to play each other.
And they have a great team, fantastic team coming in this weekend. I mean, as you all approach this week and take it one day at a time, what's the mindset to prepare for this match?
It's on the wall in the building. Go win or know every day. Win or know every day. We just gotta grind, work this week, practice hard,
UT Martin versus SEMO this weekend. Lamar, thanks so much for joining us. Congrats on a big win this past weekend. And let's go get another one. Let's go get one more. Thanks to Lamar again for joining us. And we'll have head coach of the UT Martin football team, Jason Simpson, up right after this break.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
UT Martin victorious over Tennessee Tech this past weekend in Cookeville, Tennessee. The Skyhawks win their 6th straight Sergeant York Trophy. Now joining the program, head coach of the UT Martin football team, Jason Simpson. And, Coach, what a game it was this past weekend in Cookeville. Your guys get the overtime win. Miraculous play at the end with Zoe. And, I mean, the only word that I come back to, just completely speechless just over the whole game. Incredible football game. But just the one word I come back to is unbelievable. I mean, what a moment there at the end of the game. Down 14 with 10 minutes to play. And you guys find a way to come back and get that win. Big time.
No, you're right. It was a very entertaining college football game. No, it was. I can see that. Give Tennessee Tech credit. They gave us all we could handle, and that was great play by Zoe within in the game with great concentration. And sometimes you look at these games, you say, well, we're very fortunate, okay, and that's a true statement, okay, but. When you evaluate the tape and look, there's always things that you do well, and there's always things that you could do better. There's always things that affect the game, but that's why you play these games. They ran multiple trick plays against us. The Wildcat throwback, and they hit it. They sprinted out and wheeled the guy up the boundary and caught our jack in man coverage, and he's got a mash Geo and a gain of 45. So there were several of those, to their credit, that normally are high risk, low percentage plays that you're going to get, and they were able to get them, and kind of flip the field. And then you put that with, Shea had a tough day fielding those punts. It's just, unfortunate. So those are two. And then our, all-conference punter, drops one and drops a snap and barely gets one out, and then shanks another one, and you give them short fields there, and those are things that we haven't done as well. So you got to, when those things happen, right, the game is going to be very competitive and it's going to be very, very tough. And, felt good going into halftime, right? It's 21-14. We got the score, thought we managed the clock well. Kincaid goes down, receivers made a few plays, right? We're up 21-14. And obviously my halftime speech wasn't very good. They must have misunderstood me. They must have thought I meant the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, not of the third quarter, right? Because we were 3 and outs in the third quarter. Okay, it's not that the kids wasn't playing hard. We just sometimes you run a play, and they decided, Tennessee Tech did. All right, we're up 21-14. So almost every play in the second half was blitz, was some form of man pressure, zone pressure. And sometimes you get them, sometimes they get you. And just to happen those 9 plays, they got us, okay? And then then we got it going a little bit and got back in the game and then had a chance to get it to overtime.
Talk about the last. I want to see the last play through your eyes.
Well, I was frustrated from the play before because, the offensive line, we ran it on first down and we get, 5 yards, and then we have another run and get it to, to get it to 3rd and 1. Okay, and then we go back to a heavier set, decided to run it again and let's get a first down. At worst, right, you make the field goal shorter. You still, maybe we throw it on after we get this first down. And we line up off sides. Matter of fact, guess who the guy was that lined up for off sides? Zoe. Okay, he's supposed to be on the ball, and he was not. So we convert, and we get the penalty. So now it goes from a 1st and 10. Right now it's a 3rd and 6.5. Okay, so wasn't real pleased with that. We went back to a play that we had probably already run 2 or 3 times in the game, and it's kind of a day 1 install, and you're in a 3-by-1, and especially in the red zone, the 3 has a little whip route, the 2 has at the goal line, he's going to run a little mini dig grab, and then the 1, who outside receiver, Zoe, has a little straight post in the red zone. Okay, well, a couple things went our way, some things didn't. Tank runs a good route. DJ's in there. He goes a little deep, but still good enough to grab the safety. So now you got the straight post. The ball needs to be thrown higher. That's how you would draw it up. The ball needs to be at the outside goal post, about 10 feet tall, right? And if we win on the route, then it's a touchdown. If not, if you can't get inside and the corner's under trying to undercut, that's why the ball is thrown with height, and then you like to see the receiver go and make a play. And got a little bit of pressure there. They blitzed us again. Stepped in there and picked it up, and the ball's thrown a little low. And so the corner did a nice job. He undercut it and got a hand on it. But when you tip it up like that, and Zoe's got really good ball control and stuff, and we were fortunate for him to come up with a catch.
Have you ever seen a play like that before in your time coaching? A touchdown like that to win the game for you?
You forget a lot of the good plays and stuff. Probably not, though. Probably not to win the game. I've had some different ones that happened throughout the game. Like Colton Dowell's. Hail Mary last year, right before half against Western Illinois, but that wasn't to win the game like that one was.
No, great catch to win the game, and it happens at the same time. In overtime, on the road, in a season where you have to win that game.
No, you're right. That team statistically was the number 1 defense in the conference, okay? Hadn't had 100 yards rushing against them, as I noted last week, in 5 straight weeks. Well, we didn't get over it much, but we did. Now, that was only on 20-something carries, too, because we had, like I said, multiple 3-and-outs to their credit. But we broke the 100-yard barrier. Well, your offense got to come from someplace else. And we didn't get any turnovers. All right, we've only had 1 turnover in the last 3 weeks. Our defense has. So, that's frustrating, and you got to get those turnovers. So, to see those receivers make some plays, and Sam catches a wheel route out of the backfield for a touchdown. There's 5 or 6 plays that you'd put on a highlight reel, and you'd say, that's good ball. But there's a lot of other plays that need to be better.
I want to go to Kincaid in this game, Coach. Just the growth from him this season, and had a great day. Talk about just what you saw from him.
Well, it was the first time probably that were in the locker room that I think he felt like, he's chipped in with his legs and won some games for us, been a part of big wins. And the quarterback's always a huge part, of the win of the loss. But that was probably one to where there was probably some self-satisfaction of, 5 touchdown passes. Okay, I mean, that's pretty all. I don't know if I've had another quarterback throw 5 in one game. So he's got 8 in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so I think I could kind of see some self-satisfaction of, hey, this is why I came here, to do these things and to be a part of this and make some memories. And I think the team kind of looked at him. It wasn't the defense that carried us. It wasn't the rush game that was carried us. No, the throwing the football is what allowed us to get back in the game and have a chance to win it. Now, it was far from perfect, and he'll tell you there's some players that he'd like to have back. But,
you make a really good point that he came here to make some memories, and this is his final chance. He took a chance on us as much as you took a chance on him.
Yeah.
And that game really kind of was
I would hope, yeah. No, I think there's, that we're, when you're a transfer like that, you had to play, I've heard him say it before, hey, it's been 4 years since I've been, the decisions that I make affect the whole locker room, with the ball in my hand, how prepared during the week and stuff. So, it's good. It's good to sit back. He's on the bus, on my bus on the way back, and we're kind of laughing, joking, watching some other games and stuff. And he's always fun to be around. He's always got a great temperament and stuff. And I appreciate his work and his teammates do as well.
So when we got to the fourth quarter, 10 minutes left, takes that 14-point lead. You all get the ball back. And what's going through your mind as you digest that situation? Still 3 timeouts left, but you know that you got to go down the field and pretty much be perfect on all of your possessions.
There's still in college football. Don't get me wrong. NFL 2 minutes is forever. College football not so much, but in 10 minutes, you can score 2 times. I mean, very, very easy. Okay? And I think one of the key we had a break too. Think about it. It was on the second down. We throw a screen. We drop it, right? Marlon drops it. Okay, and that's one where it's probably going to have a chance to get the first down. And it's 3rd and 10, and they get a penalty when their guys that dropped the screen takes his helmet off in the field. All right, so that gives us an automatic first down on a personal foul. I get the rule. I hate it. I mean, but that's part of the discipline to handle, good and bad in the game. That's for safety, So that was a big one there. Then we ran the ball. We popped a run, counter, so they popped a run for 15, 20 yards or whatever, and that was kind of big. And then kind of 2 back-to-back passes there got us going. So, and I thought the receivers, I can't remember which drive it is we're talking about here, but there were several contested catches.
DJ had a couple, and Zoe had some.
DJ had one, Tank had one, Zoe had 2 on the last drive, the last one, but there was also a 3rd down conversion where, not a great call in the coverage that they were in, and 2 guys kind of draped over him and stuff, but, it's kind of funny in games. If you're throwing the ball, we ended up throwing the ball 40 times. I think that's the most we've thrown it this year. I think it was 24 or 40 is what Kincaid was. You're going to have to make some contested catches, and I was real proud of the receivers.
They talk about winning the one-on-one battles. You all did just that. Zoe, Devontae, really just a great game through the passing. And then defensively, guys turned it on towards the end there in the fourth quarter. Second overtime game of the year, you get into OT. And Perk and Dot, they go in there, get the sack, and force Tech to kick that field goal. Offense takes over in 3rd down. Zoe gets that touchdown off the deflection, but as you all go into overtime for the second time this year, what are you telling your guys there to prepare them for another overtime game?
Yeah, well, first of all, I say this about our defense is that, you get those short fields, and, that's difficult. You're playing an offense that is very assignment-oriented, where pretty much almost on every play, there's somebody at the quarterback, or the wheel routes are coming. And then they execute at a high level, which they haven't done up to this point. Okay? Not making excuses, we've got to get those stops. That's what you sign up for defense. You get put in a bad situation, you got to hold them to field goals, okay? And we can do that in the red zone with touchdowns. But that's tough when you get those short fields, okay? The next day, when we went to fourth quarter, to overtime like you're talking to, there's you can't have fake, different things on the sideline, okay? And if we're not ready to go, we're not ready to go. All I did was, bring them up and say, hey, we've been here, okay? You know how to act. You understand the expectations here of how this is going to go. If we're going to toss, defense first, we can take a look at it. I know if we can, we need a touchdown to win, just the standard, playing the percentages, okay? All right, so get the stop. We're going to win the toss here. We're going to get the stop. Worst, hold them to a field goal, and we'll go and win. That's how you want it to go. It doesn't always go like that. So kids are ready to go. Been there before. It's not what new. So some of those ways we have won games up to this point paid off for us.
What is a game like this, another overtime game, come from behind in the fourth quarter? What does this tell you about your team moving forward?
Well, it's a very – we won game multiple ways, and that's good. One side hasn't carried it all the way. So those are good things. Would you like to roll a defense out there that nobody could score against? Sure. Would you like to roll an offense out there that scored 50 points every week? You would, okay. But that's not how this team is built. That's not how most teams are built. In our conference, look how close the games were this week in the conference. Gardner-Webb, who I think is an outstanding team, beat us week before. They have to, Bryant goes for overtime for the win, doesn't get it, and Gardner-Webb sneaks out of there, with the win. So all the games are going to be close. That's just the way it is when you got a pretty good competitive league, and the kids are fighting for wins and for first place or playoff opportunities, and good competition.
I'm gonna use your word. This team's has been resilient.
No, it has. It has. You got guys like Tevin Shipp and Jalen Sharp and Jay Rogers and they're good. Lamar and Gavin and stuff, and they're quality people. It matters to them. None of us are perfect, and we're chasing the perfect game that you coach and the perfect game that you play. Fortunately, up to this point, we've won, I guess, 7 of the last 8 in FCS competition. So I'm proud of the kids. I'm proud. I enjoy being around them. They give you good effort every week.
And radio about to go off on there, but Coach, previewing SEMO this Saturday, a chance to win a share of the conference championship. Again, for our radio listeners, make sure to catch this on YouTube on the podcast side of things. But SEMO this weekend, first matchup with them in almost 2 years now, because played them twice back in 2021. Coin flip decided last year, but this year, game going to be decided on the gridiron. Again, a win means a UT Martin championship, but this is what you play for all year. This is every single week in and week out that you get set for a moment like this to be able to win a conference championship.
No doubt. My mindset, I'm going to make sure I tell the team today in team meeting, is that, okay, we have 1 game left and the rest of the conference teams have 2, okay? So the math says you win this week, at worst, you get your co-champions, okay? And I'm not going to waste any time on, we should have won last week and all that kind of stuff. It's hard to go and win every week. But this program's won a lot of games, especially the last 3 years. So that's a goal, win this week. And these kids, get an opportunity for a three-peat, for a third. A lot of our kids would have 3 rings if they figure out a way to win this week. And I'm proud of that. And, we'll worry about the next week. We'll worry about playoff opportunities as we go. But that's what this week will signify, and you're playing a quality team.
And do you feel like there's, I guess, an extra fire under the guys from last year and for your coaching staff as well? Because, again, this team that you're facing, they didn't play you last year, but they got that auto bid over you, and a lot of people have made the jokes against UT Martin with a coin flip and everything like that. So is there an extra fire, motivation that comes with playing this team this upcoming weekend?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I don't think it's at the forefront because a lot of new players, a lot of new coaches, and all that. But no, they, the luck of the coin toss last year, they got to go experience something that we didn't. And that was frustrating. But I think it's more like this. The point that I will make is that Tennessee Tech, I think we beat them 11 years in a row. Okay, so I'm pretty confident there was some doubt that creeped into their mind when we got it to 7 points in the fourth, right? Oh, no, are we going to blow this lead? Is this really going to happen to us again? Because it's just very hard to get over that hump and to get that win, and then sometimes that can just really take off and kind of vault a program. We have been there. We've won a lot of games. Well, guess what? SEMO's been there, and they've won a lot of games. Their season's not going the way they wanted to, but mathematically they still have a chance to win 2 games and win a piece of the conference championship. So we won't have that advantage over them. All right, although we'll be playing at home, and that's something we're very excited about. So that'll be what they got an opportunity that you didn't get, but make no mistake about it, that experience that they had will help them in this game if we allow it to be close.
Absolutely, and we can talk about SEMO all we want, but you've said it. I mean, the focus is your team this week and what you all can do to be able to execute on Saturday. And what are the things right now that you feel like have to happen on Saturday for UT Martin to secure a 3-peat?
Well, not to get – it's still early in the week for X's and O-wise, but, they've got an outstanding wide receiver. He's the best in the league as far as because he's got the size and the speed, and he just kind of ripped through Tennessee Tech a couple weeks ago when he played them. And then they've got Geno Hess, who scored seems like 100 touchdowns since he's been there, and he's coming off a 150-yard week last week. Don't know exactly the quarterback situation, the injury, will the kid be back, and all that. I don't know, but those are the top two players in the league. Defensively, they're built like us. Okay, they're built to stop the run. All right, they're built to stop the run, and the numbers aren't good when you run it, although you do have to run it to stay on the field some. But and they've I won't say struggle against the pass, but it's like us. That's how we're built, to where if you're going to have a good day against us, you're going to have to run it for 100 and throw it for 300. Then you'll probably beat us. Okay, if you're able to do both. But if you can't get to 100 and you can't get to 300, then we're probably going to win. So both teams are kind of built the same way when it comes to that.
And so, message to the fans this weekend. Another chance to get another conference championship, senior day as well, military appreciation day. Just your message to the community out there to get them to come out for one final 2023 home football game.
Yeah, I would really, I would appreciate it personally. But the university needs you. I've been saying that all year long. The university, we'll probably have 100 recruits and their families in here. Now, all of them aren't going to come to school here, and all of them aren't going to be offered scholarship. But there's some of them that may choose to come here and walk on or just attend school here. But so what a great opportunity for advertisement of our university when there's a great tailgating crowd and the stadium is full and it's just a good atmosphere, right? And that's a good marketing tool to say, hey, you know what a safe environment, what a picturesque campus, and I feel good about my child coming to school here. All right, and we're there to provide the entertainment for the university, and like when we go recruit, right, we say, hey, this is one of the reasons why this is such a great place, is that everybody in this community either works on this campus or provides a service for this university.
Right.
Okay, and that may not be 100% true, but it's a high percentage, right? So we all need this place to have a great enrollment and to be something that is talked about around the Southeast or in the state. And then when you can put a quality athletic department on top of that, then you see you've got great administrators in place, and that we care about everything that's connected to this university. Okay, then that's when people want to be a part of that.
I want to ask a thing before we wrap it up. We had our rodeo team member who rides the horse out onto the field, which is a really cool thing we're doing for the first time this year. What are your thoughts on that?
We've been talking about this for years. When we played, we talked about it even before we went to Montana State. Let's develop some tradition and let's do something that's really unique, that's favorable or fits our environment here. And then, of course, when Kurt and I went out to Montana State and saw that, we were like, hey, can we get this going? And I appreciate those guys, him and Ryan, and get that going. And, I'm proud of it. I think it's cool. I think when the opponents are on the way home, they were like, hey, we got beat, and they ran the horse out there on the field, so that's good. Let them think about it.
When's the last time you rode a horse?
Oh, I can't even remember. A long time ago.
We couldn't get you to come out on a horse.
Hey, if that's what it takes to win this week,
we
let's
get
go.
Coach Simpson to ride out on the horse, out onto the field.
Let's go.
Get you in like Spartan attire.
Hey, you know what? I can picture you do it, and like on the shows, like the saddle comes off and you roll. Looks like you're trick riding and go to your head's almost hitting the ground and stuff. That would be it. We might get some more people to come to the game if you would try that.
Hey, I'll do that. I don't know how much training we got to do, but I'll do that. I'll do a somersault off the horse into the press box.
I know you would.
Something like that to get anybody there. But Coach, big one this weekend, and good luck.
Thank you.